With their roster solidified, the Eagles turned their sights toward the start of the regular season. But former NFL executive Mike Lombardi trained a critical eye on head coach Doug Peterson.
Now, everyone knows Peterson isn't a head coach. He might be less qualified to coach a team than anyone I've seen in my 30-plus years in the NFL. Peterson was barely a coordinator before he became head coach. The Eagles looked increasingly sloppy and unprepared as the 2016 season limped along. That ain't changing in 17. Only Carson Wentz can save Peterson's job, and Wentz actually got worse during his rookie year, not better. When will the Eagles admit their mistake? Will they throw away 17 stubbornly sticking to the Peterson principle?
First of all, those comments, you guys call it clickbait or hot takes. That's how I saw that.
Oh, I mean, listen, a lot of Eagle fans, they take it personally, and look, they have great pride in their team. I understand it, I find it fascinating. I go through Twitter, and I get blamed for bad drafts on places that I never were. In fact, I just saw somebody tweeted I drafted Steve Slayton. I mean, sometimes the information is completely out of base, but look, I understand fans. They like their team. They want their coach to do well, and I just voiced an opinion. It's not a hot take by no means. I mean, I've studied the Eagles. I've studied the NFL for 35 years. I've been to 4 Super Bowls. I've won 3. I've been around Bill Walsh. I've been around Bill Belichick. I've been around Al Davis. I think I know what a good coach looks like. And I just don't see Doug being able to be ready for the job that they were giving him, and I think that's the challenge.
Mike Lombardi, former NFL front office executive and current writer and podcaster for The Ringer, had some not so nice things to say about the Eagles head coach, Doug Peterson.
Now, everyone knows Peterson isn't a head coach. He might be less qualified to coach a team than anyone I've seen in my 30-plus years in the NFL. Peterson was barely a coordinator before he became head coach. Can you imagine if we elected a United States president who didn't have any real training? Sorry, don't answer that. Look, the Eagles looked increasingly sloppy and unprepared as the 2016 season limped along. That ain't changing in 17. Only Carson Wentz can save Peterson's job, and Wentz actually got worse during his rookie year, not better. When will the Eagles admit their mistake? Will they throw away 17 stubbornly sticking to the Peterson principle? The immortal Roy Rubin lasted 51 games. I bet Doug Peterson lasts way less than that.
Okay, a couple of things here. First and foremost, a Trump reference. Really, that's where we're going to go, political, even in jest. Come on, Lombardi. Next up, Carson Wentz. The reason he regressed last year was because of Doug Peterson? What about the offensive line imploding for the 10 games that Lane Johnson wasn't there? That's not Peterson's fault. And then you look at the act of calling him a mistake. Peterson a mistake already? Well, I guess if anyone would recognize a mistake made by a front office, it would be Lombardi. Considering that the Eagles, the Browns twice, the Raiders, and the Patriots admitted their mistake in hiring Lombardi. And then in closing, on this topic at least, a Roy Rubin reference? Who even remembers him? Way to be topical. Talking about a 76ers head coach that quit before the season was even over. I mean, Peterson already has more wins than a basketball coach to his name at the professional ranks. So let's not quite go Roy Rubin just yet. But that's my take on it. Somebody asked Doug about it at his press conference this week, and well, he said, what are you talking about?
I'm confident in what I do. He's not in the building. I coach our coaches and coach our players. And I think if you ask any one of our players or assistant coaches, I think they would maybe say something a little bit different. I have not read the article, so I can't respond to it. Somebody here, Mr. Lurie, Howie, the guys thought I was qualified. So in my opinion, that's good enough for me. Again, this organization is behind me 100%. And again, I think you could ask the guys in the locker room, and that's my concern. That's my focus.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? Doug doesn't need to respond to it. How about the players themselves? Let's talk to one of the team leaders, Malcolm Jenkins, about what kind of head coach Doug Peterson is.
Well, I think he's on the right track. Right? I think he knows and understands that this is a players' league, and so a lot of ownership, a lot of the responsibility of wins and losses around here fall on the players, and he's willing to allow us to have input in where we see the team going. He leans on leadership a lot to give him the pulse of the locker room, and I think those are things that, in my experience, make really good coaches.
Okay, you know what? Jenkins has already been with Doug Peterson for a full season. How about somebody who's brand new to the nest, like Torrey Smith? What's he think about Peterson?
I'm a new guy, so it's a guy that if he has your back and ultimately wants the best for the team, you want to play for him. So I love him. I think he's a great coach, and hopefully we can have the success that he expects out of us and that we expect out of ourselves.
So in conclusion of all these Lombardi comments, they really come back to nothing but cheap shots.
All right, former Eagles executive Mike Lombardi, you and I know Mike well, made some disparaging remarks this week about Doug Peterson. Basically that in the 30-plus years he's been in the league, that he's never seen anyone less qualified to coach an NFL team. Hitting below the belt?
Yeah, really a cheap shot. And I have a good relationship with Mike. I think he has gone way outside the boundaries of what is right, clearly trying to gain attention. He has done that. Congratulations. Not well received at the NovaCare complex.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so just kind of put those comments to the side and see what Doug can do here.
And to Doug's credit, I like the way that he dealt with it. Hey, they hired me, and so somebody must think I'm pretty good, so that's all that
Played in the league
matters.
for 14 years, coached for a long time, and if I recall, Andy Reid was an assistant for 6 years.
Sure. All right, one other thing about Lombardi. Among the things that he was critical about, was especially sharp, was that Carson Wentz regression last year as a quarterback. Let's deal with that.
Yeah, I would tell you that after the way you see, he started with 3 wins, NFC Offensive Player of the Month in September, lost his right tackle, not a lot of talent around him. I think it was just normal growing pains for a rookie quarterback. I have said this from the start. I've not seen a quarterback in his early years with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I've been there for 30 seasons, dating back to Jaws, who is as poised, as talented, as just a player who understands the big picture as Carson Wentz. We will see greatness from Carson Wentz, and we will see a big jump from him this season.
And don't forget, you were there when I was there, so you've
That's
been there
exactly
for a long
right.
time.
That's it.
Now, everyone knows Peterson isn't a head coach. He might be less qualified to coach a team than anyone I've seen in my 30-plus years in the NFL.
Former NFL general manager Mike Lombardi raised a lot of eyebrows with that comment preseason. No one believed in Doug Peterson, but now he's getting the last laugh. Peterson was the most disrespected coach hired in 2016. Those that were praised: Chip Kelly, fired. Mike Mularkey, fired. Ben McAdoo, fired. And now Peterson and the Eagles are on the brink of a Super Bowl. So how did he get here?
The second I walk up here in the morning and address the team, the way I am, on the practice field, the way I interact with the players individually, the coaches, I think they see all of that. I think a lot of it too comes from just being genuine and real and being me.
It's clear Peterson has the support of his players and coaches. His unique style of play calling has earned respect.
What I've learned about him and through watching him call plays is probably a little bit more unorthodox at times than in a good way.
I would say Coach Peterson, he's very diverse in his play calling, and I think he has a great feel for the game, what's going on. Times to be aggressive. It's hard to key in when you're a defense of what he's going to do.
Doug Peterson is all about team. He doesn't like talking about himself, but he can appreciate how far he's come in just 2 years.
I just think I'm wiser, smarter. You learn from past experience. I think I'm a better situational manager in the games and preparing the team and my messaging with the team. I just think you learn and grow, every single day, every single week.
It took Andy Reid 6 years to win an NFC championship. Today, Peterson can best that. It's the biggest game of his head coaching career, but he remains level-headed.
So nothing really has to change. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football, and I got to make sure that, my head's in the right spot. I'm blocking out the noise just like I'm telling the players to block it out, and I'm focused on my job and helping this football team, try to win a football game.
I admit, I'm wrong. Okay, Doug Peterson was way better than I thought he was going to be in terms of his ability to lead that team. I think Jim Schwartz is a tremendous defensive coordinator. I think he deserves a lot of credit here, but I thought he did a really good job with Nick Foles yesterday. So all you Philly fans give me all this crap about, give Doug Peterson his due. Yep. Okay, I was wrong. He's a better coach. Now he's going to have to do it again this week, and we'll see how that is. But for me, I think when you win a playoff game and you beat a team that you're an underdog to, and you beat Matt Ryan, and you play, and Nick Foles played well enough, I think you deserve it. I think I got to admit, hey, look, I think I was wrong in terms of how far I went with Doug. I'm not sure how great of a coach Doug is, but I was wrong in terms of how far I went with it.
Now, let's go and talk about Doug Peterson for a second, because a lot of people, when they originally hired Doug Peterson, a lot of doubters when it came to Dougie P. Most notorious going into this season was Mike Lombardi, who we talked about earlier in the show, but he's since come around and at least gave credit where credit was due. Didn't apologize, but credit where credit was due.
No, he did not.
A little bit.
No, he did not.
He said he was wrong.
You barely. He barely said he was wrong. Well, I was wrong about him being the most unqualified coach ever. But did you notice how he just threw in Jim Schwartz in there? He's like, hey, by the way, he's still doing a really good job. Wonder why you're doing that, Mike. Yeah, I mean, fine. Like, he came around to kind of, we'll accept that if Doug Peterson wins the NFC Championship game, I want, like, a written statement with the wig on and, have a full press conference apology going on. Yeah.
The wig?
Yeah, like just a nice Philadelphia old school 1776 wig, and just I was wrong, the powder, everything. Just have him stand in the middle of 5th and Market and apologize.
You want him making a declaration?
Yes.
While ringing the bell, the Liberty Bell.
I was wrong, Philadelphia. Yes, exactly.
Some clown named Mike Lombardi told him that he was the least qualified head coach in the NFL.
Celebration continues from Fly, Eagles Fly to This Is Us, because that's coming up in just a few moments. But right now we bring in the guys. So many plays, so many points in this game.